Hi, good morning. This is attorney Katie Frekhtman from New York City. This is actually from my Brooklyn office, and I'm here this morning preparing for a deposition that's scheduled for tomorrow. And you can tell I'm preparing because I have all these folders of paperwork and my desk is a mess, but you can't see it, so that's good. So today I wanted to talk about a video I did a few months ago, and it really was the answer to the question, what I would tell my future self. Like if I was just getting out of law school and I was starting a law firm, and what would I tell that Katie, the person who just finished law school and is just starting to hang their own shingle and starting their own firm? I think I would tell them that case selection is so important. Like reviewing the case, speaking to potential new clients on the phone and really getting to know them a little bit, getting to understand how their injury happened and what their injuries or symptoms are, and then doing a little bit of due diligence before accepting a case. Because accepting a litigation case is a big undertaking. Now, of course, you could settle a case in pre-lit and the claim stage. And if it's a small case, you can do that. And if you can get an amount that the client is happy with, that's fine. But if you have to litigate the case, if you have to file a summons and verified complaint in Supreme Court in New York, that's a big undertaking. That's like a declaration of war, and you may have to go to war. You may have to fight for 2 years or 3 years or even 4 or 5 years or more. So what we're gonna do here in this firm is we're gonna review all of our cases. I think we have about 1,000 cases, right? We're gonna review all of them. And then the ones that are really, really small that we're still handling, we're gonna partner up with other lawyers and we're gonna refer the case to them and maybe, partner up, have a partnership. And so that way, those cases get the attention they deserve. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on the more serious cases, the cases where there's, let's say, surgery or traumatic brain injury or a spinal fusion, or perhaps there's a case with an open reduction internal fixation, like a fracture of the leg or the arm. Those are more serious cases. Those usually command 150, maybe 200,000 and way, way up. Like for example, a spinal fusion is usually $1 million case. A serious confirmed brain injury could be multi-millions. And then of course, if you have a simple fracture, let's say of your elbow, that could be 100,000 or more. If you have open reduction internal fixation, that's usually about 250 and up. So those are the kind of cases we're gonna keep and we're gonna really work on, because we need time to really delve deep and do those deep dives that we love to do, do the investigation, hire the experts, go to the scene, take photographs, take measurements, have all the best safety engineers to prove liability. And then turning to damages, we like to tell the human story. We like to go to the client's house or get on a Zoom call and video call and meet with them. We like to find out their human story, who they were as children. How did they grow up? How did this injury affect them? How did this crash or this accident affect their lives? And then we like to interview witnesses, their neighbors, their coworkers, their friends, their family, and then have those witnesses tell one story. Maybe one witness tells one story each. Maybe a neighbor could tell a story about how they're forgetful after a brain injury. Maybe in another case, a friend could tell a story about how this person was a runner and they loved to run and that's who they were. They loved to run and they were jogging every morning, and now after the serious trimalleolar ankle fracture with open reduction internal fixation, they could barely walk. They can't run anymore. And we get that friend up on the stand in a jury trial, maybe just for like 5 or 10 minutes, just to tell that one story. And then so you have each person tell one story just for 10 minutes. And that's so powerful because these are independent witnesses from the community. All of these people cannot be lying, right? It can't be. And that's exactly the type of argument that you want to head off, because the defendants will usually argue that this is some kind of fraud, this is some kind of sham, everything's a scam, a fraud, you're lying, you're a malingerer, you're pretending that you're not really as hurt as badly as you're saying you are. So that's the kind of argument we want to cut the head of the snake, basically. You want to get rid of that argument, and that's the way you do it. You cut the snake's head off. So anyway, what we're going to do in our firm is we're going to create a funnel. So we're still going to, market, because when we market to the community, like to you, through Google, through anything, right? When we market, we don't know when we first get the call, right? It might be a serious case or it might be a small case. A lot of the times, cases start off as very small. Like I had one case where it was very small. It was a $10,000 offer, And then 6 months later, the client ended up needing a spinal fusion. And then we took that case to trial and we ended up getting $1.6 million on the same case where we only had a $10,000 offer. And the insurance adjuster was actually calling us and saying, if you don't take the $10,000, I'm going to take it off the table. It's going to be a zero case. You're going to get nothing. You know, we don't really respond to threats like that. We just say, okay, fine. That's what you want to do. And see, we turned that $10,000 offer into a $1.6 million jury verdict that they ended up paying. So that's just an example of something that can happen. 6 months later, somebody could have a back surgery. So you don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a funnel. And so for the cases that are small, the soft tissue cases that are not going to have surgery and are only going to be soft tissue, meaning you go to the chiropractor, you get your massage, you get your therapy, adjustments, and that's it. You don't do anything else. And then we're going to refer those cases, make partnerships with different law firms. We already have 3 or 4 lawyers we're going to partner up with and give those cases to them if they need to be litigated. If they don't need to be litigated, if we can just settle them on the phone, well, I settle cases myself. We have 6 other lawyers in our firm that settle cases, and we have 1 settlement negotiator, senior paralegal, who's been with us over a decade, excellent negotiator, so he could settle those as well. Now, for the serious cases, what we're going to do is we're going to do that deep dive. We're going to be very picky and selective, and those good cases, we're going to put them into the court system. We're going to do those interviews of all the friends and families and really build them up for the jury trial. And we have a few going to trial in 2022 that we're excited about and we're prepping already. So I hope this has been helpful. It's just an idea that if you are a lawyer about to hang a shingle, go off on your own, or if you're in law school and about to graduate and you want some advice, coming from somebody like me who's been practicing law since 1999 for going to be 23 years soon, this is the best advice I could give you. Take the cases that you really care about, take the serious cases, work those up, take them to court, take them to jury trial. Don't be afraid. Don't take the lowball offers from the insurance company. They're not fair. And the important real question to ask yourself as a lawyer is, well, if this case goes to a jury, and would I be comfortable sitting with this client in front of 6 strangers, in front of a judge, and presenting this case? If you say, yes, I would be comfortable, I'd love to do it, take the case, right? If you say, no, I don't know, I think maybe my client's lying to me, well then, settle it or refer it out. But in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you really believe your client and you're all in, then take the case, go to trial. That's my advice. Okay, have a great day, everybody, and talk to you soon.